Hey there, pop pickers. It's us again. Me and my big Scouse mate, the Scouser and the Scot. So I'll hand you straight over to Ian.
Well, today we've got a special treat. Most people say that it's a bit of a start of a joke when they go, an Englishman, a Scottishman, and a Welshman walk into a bar. But today we have got that, but we're not in a bar, unfortunately. We've got Aled Lewis from Promoter Cross Border Music Group, and he's also the tour manager for Scarlet Rebels, I believe. So I'm looking forward to catching up with Aled, finding out a bit of truth, ask a few strange questions,
Very.
and put him on the spot a little bit. So let's start. Aled, how the hell are you doing, bud?
I'm good, guys. I'm good. Really good. Bring on any questions you want to. I'm easy. I'll answer anything. I'll upset people. Sorry.
That's why we brought you on, mate. That's why I know of you, so I know. I says, yeah, you need to get Ali. When we decided, when me and the big man decided to bring back Scouser and the Scot, we sat there with a hit list. I says, I've got the very man. I don't know if he'll do it. I says, but if we get him on, it'll be the equivalent of having Crusher Jewel back on again.
Oh, yeah, Christ. No, I wouldn't upset so many people as he does.
Oh, I'll tell you what, you will tell you a quick story about the Crusher one. We did it one night, and shall we say, he was at his best, but not at his best. And
Yeah,
then
okay.
the next morning, he woke up and he sends a message. He says, I think we might have to sort of redo that. I had some bad news last night, so I got a bit pissed, and I was like, "Yeah, that's." Ian says, "Yeah, no problem, Crusher." He says, "Like, so we went through the things that we thought he thought he shouldn't have said." So I says, "Was it this?" No, no, fuck that. That's fine. Was it this then? No, no, fuck that. And the things that he was worried about, we were like, "That was the least of our problems, mate. We're going to get sued here." It's
Oh,
fucking brilliant,
he's a
absolutely
legend.
brilliant.
He's an absolute legend. Fair play to him.
He is completely. He's an icon of the UK rock scene, in my opinion. Like, you know what I mean? He's one of those where
Definitely.
we all grew up watching it, like, and when I had the chance, it was just like, oh my God, it's like talking to one of your heroes growing up. So it's speaking of
Uh,
this, though, we've got to get to the main point here. What you told me just before this, you don't look old enough, but you've been in this business for 38 years, mate.
yeah, 38.
Where the hell did you start?
Started at 18. Yeah, started at 18 and currently 56. So yeah, it's been like it's gone quickly. It's gone really quickly. It's been trialing. Let's say it's been trialing as parts of it. Lockdown's an absolute nightmare
Oh yeah.
be- because they came to us and said basically because we're so established as a promoting company, they won't give us any funding. So basically, we had to go back to different jobs and back to work and like we would live off our savings for the 3 years. So yeah, it that 3 years was tough. The year after it was harder because nobody had any confidence in music and live music and panicking and bands wouldn't come over from the States. We'd only be based in UK bands and it was tough, but glad to say it's sort of back to normal at the moment.
Like, obviously you've been in the business for quite a while. Like, I mean, how did you start and what was your first role in the music industry where you actually
Uh,
went, I'm doing
I
this for the rest of my life now?
it was an accident actually. I went to see a local band called Asylum. I said, you should do all your Because the Nights, a bit of Kiss, a bit of Iron Maiden, a bit of Metallica. I just loved it. And they were like, oh, we need to play more shows. And me, after about a couple of pints in the pub with them, cocky 18-year-olds, I'll book you a show next week. Yeah, fine. And then I'd done that. People turned up, and I thought, oh, this is easy. Biggest mistake of my life. The next 5 years, I basically I need to remortgage my house, and it was just like, yeah, no, it's a massive learning curve at the start. I tell people if they're going to start doing this industry, start small, stick small for a long time, grow your funds, because the last thing any promoter in the world needs to do is rely on ticket money for paying bands. If you haven't got the money up front to pay your deposits or your balances, don't risk it, to come or pay the band on the night when you start, because you probably haven't generated enough money on ticket sales after your venue hire. So that's the only thing I tell people. Make sure you got the money in the bank before you do the show.
I think that's a major failing that I have seen myself with promoters. And
Yeah.
I dabbled with promotion, but unfortunately I wasn't very good at it because my heart ruled my head.
It's all
Uh,
right. You're doing well in the Patriots.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no,
Good,
fuck,
good
I
shows.
tell you what.
Good shows
I,
up there. Fair play. We heard all about them.
Aye, well, I mean, I had some great times at the Patriot. Fucking Ange was, and they know was fucking brilliant to work with. Um, but it cost them plenty of money as well, unfortunately, because I would book bands that I really like without actually thinking to myself, is anybody else going to go and buy tickets to come and see them? So I kind of like booked it from a perspective of I want people to see these bands, which is, well, you'll probably be able to tell me it's not the way to go, but
When,
I loved it.
when I was 20 years old, a promoter who was 60 in South Wales took me to one side and said, listen, do not book what you want to see, book what other people want to see. And I've stuck to that ever since.
Yeah.
Because
So,
some of the bands I want to see, people want to see, but I'd have Diamond Head on every single day of the week if I had my way. Venom, Twisted Sister, I'd pay a fortune for them. I even wanted to bring Striper over from the States at one
oh,
stage.
Striper.
But I'm
Was that the
talking,
Christian rock band?
yeah.
Yeah, I used to love
I,
them.
I was To Hell with the Devil, one of the best albums. I grew up with that album. It was phenomenal. But yeah, they wanted something ridiculous. It was something like 60,000 euros or something, and I was just like, yeah, I can't do that. I'd have to charge £1,000 a ticket.
So, I mean, you're saying there about that 6-year-old promoter when you were 20 taking your side.
Yeah.
I mean, the music world's changed a lot in that time. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah.
we know that it's completely changed. So, if you were talking at your age to a 20-year-old promoter now, what kind of
Yeah.
advice would you give them?
Um, do it. It's a fantastic industry to get into. It's brilliant. When you're in, you're hooked. It's like a drug. You cannot get out of it. But they need to make sure it's so back in our day it was like Letraset posters, getting blinking putting posters up on walls, flight posting, and putting stuff in papers, adverts, and things like that. Nowadays, it's all social media, which sometimes baffles me. But we've all got to learn. We've got to move on. But yeah, anybody doing it now, I would tell them to do it, but make sure they do it slowly and steadily, not jump into it. I've seen so many one-off young promoters going, "Oh, I'll take this venue on as 1,000 cap. I'll pay them, you're 2 grand higher. I'll put bands in. I'll make a fortune after it," and they're leaving with no money on a
Mm,
negative. So, and the thing is, everything's contracted these days as well. So, it's gone are the days so you can pay your mate cash back in, cash in hand, and I'll pay you £100 to play. Everything's contracted. So, once you don't pay, you're screwed.
yeah, yeah.
It's like you say, it's a completely different industry, and like you say, I think the challenge is, and you've most probably seen this definitely since the COVID era and stuff like that. The challenge of bringing people in, guaranteeing doors and
Oh,
guaranteeing stuff. It's most probably one of the hardest jobs going in the industry to get people in. And one thing which I've said to my previous band, and like I was saying to my new band and stuff like that, is if bands need to promote just as much as a promoter, if not more.
oh, 100%.
You
You do,
don't.
you do,
It's
yeah, you do
frustrating.
sometimes. I do find sometimes the bands think, right, we play for him, or we play for these, and that's it. He will do everything else. And we sort of, at the moment, we're insisting on like a national advertising campaign to come through with most bands. So they've got this like £250 or £300 budget to advertise, which we will always advertise. We spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds per show advertising a show, but we also need the bands to do it as well. So their social media, that's where their fans go to. They probably don't come to my page and look, oh, look at the bands he's got on. They will go to their page. So their social media is the start point for all promotion. And then they can link it to our ticket sales, but they have to actually work it. There's some brilliant bands out there at the moment that work it really well, but there's also some really, really poor bands that just don't work it at all.
The ones that piss me off when I've had it is when they go, I say, well, you haven't done any promotion yet, I haven't seen it. Oh, yeah, that's because we'll get 3 or 4 gigs before then. So what we'll do is we'll wait till they're done and then, yeah, but one of them's in London, one of them's in fucking Edinburgh, the other
Yeah,
one, I mean, mine's is in Sheffield. What the fuck's the problem?
I
And they
know.
just do my head in.
It, how do you deal with a situation like that, Alan, from your perspective? Like, you know what I mean? You've booked a band and
Yeah,
see that they're not promoting. Like, because what I want to try and do is I want to encourage the bands who watch these programs, who
Yeah.
and stuff like that, to understand the challenges you have, the challenges we should all be helping each other to make it a sellout show. It doesn't matter. Like, one thing which I'll most probably talk about a lot is go and see if you're playing an all day festival,
Yeah.
support the bands. Go,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
and say, talk to people. That's how you get known around there.
Yeah, we insist straight away now that bands do an agreement with us that they're going to promote. And if they're not prepared to do it, we won't book the band because they have to do it. It's impossible for me to do it on my own or like Angela to do it together. It's impossible for us to do it. And as I said, everything's linked. It starts with the band and it grows out to everybody else. So then the venues will do it. We've got different social media platforms, different areas, different groups. It all starts with the band and it grows out to the rest of us. So if the band doesn't do it, there's a gap between everything. So if we start doing it at this stage and the band doesn't do it there, there's a gap there, a fan base which doesn't know the show's on. So we fucked. It's pointless. We can put thousands of pounds into a show, hitting areas, but it doesn't reach the correct people. And then we're
Yeah.
just thinking, why the fuck isn't it working?
Yeah, me and Crazy Cowboy last year, the year before, no, last year, we did we booked a few gigs for Amongst Liars and James Kennedy and the Underdogs, and they were both bands were
Another Welsh boy, yeah.
exceptional. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, James is from down your way,
Yeah.
but they were exceptional. Like they made videos, they did
James
we
is
couldn't.
very Yeah, James is very hot on his social media. I've watched his videos and it's like he's spot on with it.
Yeah, he's very
Very, very
savvy,
good.
as is Amongst Liars, to be fair, because they're quite
Yeah.
political and all that, as is James. So it was, yeah, they were exceptional. So when you come into, right, because we had a slight conversation before we come on, you said like a thing about book bands that people want to see rather than what you like yourself, which is where I failed in because I find I struggle to come to terms with the idea of putting any band on that I wouldn't listen to myself, but that's me because that's what I'm just wrong.
Yeah.
But so how do you or how have you and has it changed much? How do you come to the decision of who you're going to put on and why?
It basically that they come to us, an agency, because we're at a certain level now as a promotion company. They come to us, so all the agencies come to us on a regular basis, saying this is coming on, this is touring, these dates. So, that's the way we work. Alternatively, we also do Chepstow Cattle, which is like one op. So we pick what bands we want to work there. So we just look at the way the bands have pulled in different areas and it's catchment areas and it also age limits. We've done television recently, which we know that people will drink behind the bar because it's an expendable income. It's an older crowd. So they probably most of them still pay their mortgage off and they got money there. And like a young crowd wouldn't be able to do that. So, we have to work different forms and different ways on each show. So it's a way we have to get revenue in for each show, whichever way we do it.
So what do you when you're with these bands? So let's flip this a little bit. So if you're given new younger bands or newer
Yeah.
bands an idea of what they need to do to get to the level where you would consider them. What are you what does it what's the tick boxes for you, mate?
If I've never heard of them, I check them on social media first, see what their social media profiles are like, how busy they are. Check them on YouTube, check the live videos, and then I also go back and check over let's say, the last 2 years of where they played with and who they played with. If they played with certain bands that I know, I'll contact the tour managers of those bands and say, how are these guys? Did they pull? Were they great on stage? And then I work in different collaborations, so I know. It's not just a case of if they pull people. I'd like a young band, to be able to be great on stage and interact with the crowd, which is so important. The last thing you want is a band to come on, first band on, let's say, with a really good lineup, strong lineup, and be dead and flat. They would walk away from there absolutely heartbroken. They just need to be bands need to be cocky these days. They need to get balls and just don't give a fuck and just do what they want to do. I know it's a cliche, but it's rock and roll. Look at Florence Black though. Florence Black have been doing this for years. They've been fucking naughty boys for many years, and they are now absolutely smashing it. Professional, 100% brilliant. Love the guys. We work with them regular, but they are, to me, rock and roll perfect. The guys are great.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
think one of the things that I've noticed is like some of the new bands don't get the idea of playing like if you're opening up for someone, sometimes fans don't come till later on, as you've most probably seen the promotional gigs and stuff like that. And there's a handful of people like, and
Yeah.
one thing which I always say is, which I've said is like, if you're in that situation, play to that one person in front of you
Yeah,
like it's Wembley.
yeah, yeah,
Go
exactly.
out, enjoy yourself, get them involved, get them in, like, because you don't know that one person might be someone famous. They might be someone hiding in the background in the music industry.
That's
They
it.
might have open doors for you. It's also the other thing that which I've said to on numerous um, Scousers and the Scot is like
Mm.
if people like what you do, they will
Yeah,
tell someone else, and the next minute, they're traveling halfway across the country.
yeah,
Two, and then that becomes three, that becomes four, that becomes 8, 10, 12, and next minute you're building up a fan base, and
exactly.
you've got to try and promote it. Like
You've
I
got to work. You've really got to work everything. You've got to jump on as much stuff as you can.
100%,
And
100%.
whatever's there, just make, that's all I say. Just make sure it's genre specific. Make sure you suit the set because I get so many bands coming to me if I got a death metal gig and they're a glam band. I'm like, it's not going to work. And they're like, I don't care. I want to play. I'm like, well, if you want to die, come ahead. But you have to make sure that it's genre specific. It works. And yeah, it's not hype, but they have to generate a lot of social media. That's so important these days. I know it sounds really bad and very and rock and roll, but social media rules this industry full stop.
Yeah, I mean, we interviewed the other day. We interviewed Bobby Dazzle, because
Hmm.
she kind of came up out of nowhere as far as I was concerned. So
Yeah,
we were asking her how she came to attention. Well, she got a record, she's on a record label, and they got her into a magazine. And because of what she said, because she listened to her
yeah,
mum and dad's glam, and she's kind of trying to bring back glam with cheesiness, and she's
yeah,
brilliant. And all of a sudden, it was like Lita Ford wanted her to support her, that Alice
hmm.
Cooper wanted to
I know.
support her, and that was a fucking article in a magazine, old
Yeah,
school, the way it used to be when me and you, Alan, started all this
yeah.
shit.
Kerrang on a Tuesday. I know. I remember it. Go through Kerrang on a Tuesday.
Oh
Look
yeah.
at everything, and just make sure. It was an honor for a young band to get into Kerrang.
Oh
So if
God,
if
yeah.
you if you were in Kerrang, that's it. You're done. You sorted. It was just like. But nowadays, it seems to be quite easy to get onto things, as in like platforms and stuff. But I still see bands getting into like magazines and stuff, and they're like glowing, and I think it's brilliant. I know, unfortunately, magazines are not a dying breed, but it's nice to see them in print. I love
Yeah.
the idea of seeing a band in print because for them to be in print, it means that the people who own the magazine, who have now got a lot less readership than they did 20 years ago, have to believe in that band as well. So they'll put them in there for a reason because they also think they're going to be popular.
I did the same thing in a lot smaller way, but like 3, 4 years ago when I decided to start the Forge Ahead initiative.
Mhm.
And I think it was one of the first ERB magazines that came out. I mean, there's rock
Yeah,
bands
yeah, yeah.
magazines,
Still going, yeah, yeah.
and they did a feature in Bad Actress, who
I love that.
had never played out of Scotland at that
Yeah,
point, and I just read it, and then the next week, people that worked, a girl that worked with me with Forge at the time had a radio show, and I listened to it and I went, fucking hell, they actually sound good. I like that, just what I expected them to be. So then I reached out to Evelyn and I says, do you know these guys? Went, yeah. They got a manager. I think it's their dad. I says, all right.
yeah,
Do you know how to get? I got in contact with them. We ran with them for a year, the first year, because that was the whole premise of. And that came out, but that came out of that magazine. I just saw it, read it, and I thought, these kids are a bit of me. That was me fucking 35, 40 years ago.
I booked him a few years ago from your recommendations online.
Oh, did
So
you?
it swings and roundabouts. I look
Yeah.
at what you've done, I respect what you do, and I can see the way you work. And then I
Mm.
contact the guys and you've done this, yeah, come down. And we had a few shows with them and things, and they've done well. They're great live. They're so much fun. I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's the 80s all over for me. It's great.
Oh, yeah. They're just doing what they saw in the videos. Their dad used
Yeah,
to play them when they were 9 year old. That's
no,
literally it.
it's amazing. They're on tour with what are they on tour with now? I can't remember some bands, some US bands. We've got, all the years of doing this, I think I clicked in dementia a bit. I got so many bands on the go.
But
But
they're
yeah,
but
they're all,
they're worked hard. They have worked
yeah.
hard and they've changed lineups and singers and all. God knows now the drummer's a singer.
Doesn't the drummer sings now, doesn't he? The
Yeah,
drummer
Louis.
now sings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a
yeah.
singer now. Yeah. Because I mean, there's still three of them, the same band, but different instruments than when I started with them. But yeah, they were cool. Um,
There's a
yeah,
lot of
but I mean,
hairspray as well. I can't remember the guitarist's name. What was that guy's
check,
his nickname? Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of
check.
hairspray there. He's woof.
Oh, you
He's
see,
nice.
I put him on. I think we put him on. First gig I ever played outside of Scotland, I put him on, and it was an outdoor gig. It was a rough camping area at the
Yeah,
bottom of Lake Windermere. It was called Smoke in the Water, and they
yeah.
came on, and they would eat, and these big lights, like big old-fashioned searchlight things. I thought if he goes too close, that he's going to go up, like he's going to go up,
Good.
fucking boom.
Yeah, they're on tour with Babylon AD. They are.
Ah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, they are, yeah.
Yeah, because we've got them down in South Wales like next week or the week after. So I'll
Ah,
catch up with the guys then. I haven't seen them for a while.
they're cool.
so obviously you do tour managing as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I enjoy that. It's great.
So
Yeah.
we've got to
Good
ask a
holiday.
question. Obviously, it's like a lot of people don't understand what a tour manager does compared to a normal manager. What's the difference between them doing promotion work? Obviously, you do promotion as well. So
Yeah.
can you give us a quick overview of what a tour manager does and what you'd expect.
A tour manager is a carer for a bunch of boys. That's it. No, I know it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. Basically, any shows that the guys do, I make sure I advance them all. So make sure everything's ready and set for them the time they go there. So anything we need, like we get the vans and we get like front of house, moms, guys. So everything's hired in. Basically make sure everything's correct by the time we get there. If it's not, the last thing you want to do is turn up in a venue and people don't know anything about the band, anything about your spec. So make sure everything's sorted beforehand, and then just basically look after the tour, make sure everybody's running straight, and as long as you do your prep work, it works itself. It's quite easy. I'm saying that they'll probably sack me now.
We actually didn't we interview Wayne?
We did interview one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that about 3, 4 years ago. We interviewed Wayne. Just remembered that there because I didn't know too much about them, but they just brought out an album at that time. In fact, look, I just realised it's there.
Oh, there we are.
Hey,
No,
unopened. I hasten to add because I don't actually have a CD player, but I
no, neither
just
have I. I know. I got loads of them here. No
I've
CDs.
got albums as well. I don't have a record player, but I just think we support the bands, and then I've got it on Spotify, so I get best of both worlds. But really, I
Yeah,
didn't plant that. I just happened to look across and it was there.
with the boys, it's a little bit like a proud father moment with me when I see them play. I'm like, oh, it just gives me a buzz to see them play because they've come along so much in the last 4 or 5 years. Suddenly become they got their craft. Wayne's a phenomenal frontman. The band is brilliant. The songs are really strong as well. And like we get some really, really good tours. Like we've done Mr. Big, we've done Winery Dogs, Ugly Kid Joe been out with. Recently, we've done the Terrorvision run. We've done quite a lot of shows with Fosley. We've done loads of really good stuff and a lot of festivals. But there's so much planning for them next year, which is huge. Which a lot of people will be surprised with what's going to come through.
It's
Okay.
brilliant because they are. He was a really nice. He was a really. I didn't know much about him, but he was a really cool, nice guy when I interviewed him. So I really liked him. But the thing is like in the last 4 or 5, 6 years, South Wales, a lot of the bands just seem to
Yeah,
explode. For those damn crows, Cardinal
yeah.
Black. You know what I mean?
Your Florence Black, yeah, I know.
Florence
There's other
Black,
bands
yeah.
coming, like your King Kraken's coming through in the end of it now. You got like Black Lake's coming through. There's a
Hmm.
lot of good bands coming through from Wales at the moment. There used to be a thing in the 90s called Cool Cymru, which is Cool Wales in Welsh.
Yeah.
And that was a big, it was unfortunately, it was like the Lost Prophets and bands, unfortunately, things like that, and the Blackout. And that was a big thing back there. It seems to be coming back around at the moment.
And when I
There
used to do
seems
my
to be
radio
like
show, I used to say that. I used to say every week there would be at least 2 or 3 new tracks because I always just played grassroots stuff. And every week there'd be two or three bands from South Wales that brought out a record. Half the time it was ones I'd never heard of, and I used to say that it's something in the water down there just now because it's just because they're all coming and it's all different sounds as well. You know, it's not just
Yeah, yeah.
like James Kennedy. He's fucking super talented. I love his music as well, and it's quite eclectic. But yeah, there's so many great bands down there.
It's like back in the day, about 15 years ago. We used to have a guaranteed I used to get about 10 CDs a day posted to me
Did you?
every fucking day of the week. It just coming through in the stacks fulls because they see a promoter, and that's the only way they can do it. They could put it like that. But at the moment, people just drop me a message and just say, can you listen to us? If they're courteous and say, I get the one, I get the normal, here's a gig. I'm like, fucking delete, goodbye. But you get some message saying, hi, just hi. We'd appreciate if you give us some feedback and give us a listen. I'm like, yeah, of course you will.
Mm.
I take that. And on the tour bus, it takes like fucking a splitter. It takes 10 minutes of my time to listen to like a couple of tracks. And it helps with the boredom as well.
Yeah.
One thing that I always advise the band is be nice, be polite.
Yeah, exactly.
A long way. It goes a long way. It really does.
Common courtesy doesn't cost a penny. That's my dad's. Common courtesy doesn't cost a penny, which is right.
Yeah, and also the other thing is as well is no matter how good you think you are, be polite to everybody and be on time, and don't be an arse and don't come on late, don't go off late, and don't fuck everything up for everybody else that's coming after you because word gets round, Alec. Well, you said it yourself. You will check on bands that you haven't played before, check on other things, and ask other guys you know what they were like. And if they come and say to you, a decent enough band, but my God, they've got an attitude problem. They come in and they did this and they said that. You'd just be like, fuck them.
One of the biggest tips as well when you book a band for the first time when they're opening up, when I ask them for a tech rider, don't send me a giant fucking hospitality rider. I get it. I'm like fucking like 12 bottles of vodka. I'm like, Jesus, guys, what are you on about? Because they basically that's all they do is copy it off another band.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, we give them drinks, we give them chips and dips and some food and a little bit of grub and some drinks, but not like don't give me expect the fucking earth if you're opening up a show. It's just
Alan leads me on nicely to one of my first random questions of the show.
Way drum roll.
I think we need a fanfare or something, don't we? Like,
drum roll, mate. Drum roll.
The show. What is the strangest request? You don't have to name the band. You don't have to do anything. What is the strangest request as a promoter or a TM that you've had?
There is some really, really nasty ones. I've had a lot of heroin requests.
Have you?
Which I'm like, fucking yeah, I'd be surprised. There was one band which needed remember Brute aftershave?
Yeah.
And this was like 4 years ago. Have you ever tried to find Brute aftershave? It's fucking impossible. And another band.
I'm gonna believe.
Oh my God, I know. But no, I try to adhere to everything bands want. If they ask, they're happy then. They're happy, they're content. Another band asks for bitter lemon, which you can't get anymore because there's quinzine in it. So I have to import it from South Africa.
Seriously?
Yeah, so one bottle of like bitter lemon probably costs £20.
Wow.
I didn't realise you normal. That's the check.
Yeah, have a look. You cannot because there was quinzine in it, so they banned it in the UK.
I'll have a look. I'm sure that's nuts. I'm gonna have to Google that now and try and find it for you. If I can get it cheaper, I'll send it down to you, Alan.
No, I tell you, there's so many easy bands like the big. Like I do a lot with Phil Campbell and people like that, and they do on pot noodles, which is fucking brilliant. And they're so easy, lovely to work with. It's bands like that are great. But some other bands we get a lot of the US bands, which are coming back from the 80s, are coming back, not realizing they're playing to, let's say, 100 people, and they think they're playing to like Wembley still, and they send us a rider, which is probably £2,500. We had a band coming up at the Patriot, and they pulled me to one side and said, "Where am I going to find chicks and strippers?" I said, "We're in fucking Crumlin. I can tell you where Poundland is and the pub is, but chicks and strippers." I'm like, fucking look where you are, man.
In the middle of nowhere,
it's
mate.
It's not going to happen.
What about what?
And they've got one of the best chippies and pizza shops down the road from it. Like, so
Yeah.
it's like when we played there, I was like, oh my God, this is just the best ever.
I
Like, you
remember,
know,
I remember Ange a few years ago. I was chatting to her about something, and it was must have been, and she sent me a rider that she'd been given at that time. I think this is before she was working with you, Aled. And
Yeah.
she sent me in that, and she went, "What do you?" You can imagine, what do you make of these? And I wouldn't say the word she used, and
I can
I just
imagine.
went like that. I read it, and I went, "They're for real? Who is it?" And she told me the name of the band. I'm like, they couldn't fill a bath, never mind a festival, never mind a
No,
venue.
I know.
And
I know.
it was like towels, but they had to be a certain colour of towel,
Oh
and they
my
had to
God,
be.
you. I worked out once. My accountant told me once that I probably spent over 60 grand on towels. There's a drummer somewhere in the fucking world, right? His house is made of my towels. There's somebody that's got like, honestly, I used to buy probably 30 a month, and they always used to say, please put them in the black bag. They should take them with them. And yeah, fucking, that's my pet. Pet towels are my pet hate.
I think.
Absolutely hate fucking towels.
peach towels and blue M&Ms. There you go. That'll be
I
on.
know that was the big thing, wasn't it? That was the Van Halen thing, but that's a quite a clever thing to do with the M&Ms. Basically, Van Halen put the remove all brown M&Ms. It was right in the middle of their rider. It was probably 600 lines, and right in the middle. So it's only there for the promoter to make sure that he's read the whole rider. So if there's still brown M&Ms, that lazy twat hasn't read that rider, and then they can like fine him. They should find loads of people.
Oh,
It's really clever the way they've done it.
Yeah. So what do
So,
you do?
so I,
So
I don't
what do you do when it's you then? What do you put? What would you put in? Alan?
know what I put in. I don't know, mate. The Scar Rebel boys, they love a bit of like what's that? A bit of whiskey and bits of bombs. It's just quite easy with them. It's whiskeys and Gary loves some Guinness and lagers, and it's nothing. It's nothing major. As long as you get waters, towels, some sweets, and something easy. You're in the dressing room for probably 2 hours, and that's it.
I, I did about 4 or 5 gigs in Liverpool, gig repping for a local
Yeah,
promoter.
yeah,
When I was kind of between jobs, and it was
yeah.
fucking funny. They used to send me the riders, and especially with like you say the American bands, and I used to get this rider and go, "Yeah, that's not fucking happening. Yeah, they're not getting that. Where the fuck am I going to get that? You can only get that in
That's it. Yeah.
America." So they'd be like, and then they get. Do you know what? Most of the time, the band had never seen the rider.
No, that's spot. And you'll get a rider, and it's probably from like 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I've
exactly
had
what I
some
was.
bands with all this stuff on their riders, like pickle. So Jeff Tate had pickle onions on his rider, and I put it through every single time, and it was like, why do you want pickle onions? And they were like, we don't even like pickle onions. What the fuck's that there for? And I got 6 jars of pickled onions in the house. Don't even like the things. It's nuts. But yeah, I mean, it's that side of it. It's quite challenging. Making what we try to do now at the moment is if a band comes through, we do the agreement and we do a contract and put in it saying hospitality, 200 quid or £300, whatever the bands want, and then they either can have it in cash, which makes our life so much easier, or we will get them a rider, which is a ball ache.
Yeah, I must admit the best ones when I was doing it, I was always praying for the. There might be a few little things like bottles of water and all that, but then it was like you gave them 20 quid each to go and get a meal or something like that, and
Yeah,
that was
well,
that's fucking
buy it.
happy days. I can remember I used to do it up Seal Street, Ian. So I used to be up there like the Arts Club and all that, and EBGBs, and literally I was getting Asda to deliver stuff just outside. So Asda pull up down there and give me all these. Yeah, all right, we'll whip them in there because I didn't have a car at the time. It was funny as fuck.
But the place like when we do Chepstow Castle, to get the stuff up there, it's fucking terrible. You've got a massive little road that goes up to the castle. There's no room to drive up there, so everything's got to be carried like 500 meters,
God,
and it's like it's beyond a joke sometimes.
yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah, the riders are part and parcel of everything, as you said. A lot of the US bands expected, a lot of the UK bands just want the money now, which is fucking great. I'll put as a courtesy, I'll put pop, water, towels, wherever on. But then if they take the money, that's better for me. It's so much easier.
so Alan, What was the last band T-shirt you bought?
But truthfully, Venom.
Venom. Okay.
We were down in where was I? We were doing the television tour, and we were down in Margate, for all places. So we went to wander around, and there's a shop closing down, and I'm obsessed by Venom. Okay, and there's a giant Venom box set in the window, dusty as fuck. Been there for years. 100 quid on it, so and it's worth 600 quid. So I went in. How much? How much? Oh, I'll give you 80 quid. Oh, yeah, this guy was landing. He said, oh, I have his t-shirt as well. So, and it was an original Venom tour t-shirt from like 1986. It's falling to bits. I sort of bought it, but I don't really buy bands t-shirts. I don't know why. I don't.
It's because we're sponsored by Adidas, Alid. That's what it is. It's quite clear.
Yeah,
Like.
yeah, yeah.
Guys, come on! I didn't get the memo. Come on. Let me know next
Come on,
time.
I've got an obsession with Kiss as well. Kiss is my biggest obsession in the world. I collect everything to do with Kiss. That's my biggest thing. But yeah, band wise, truthfully, oh no, I bought a Hand of Dimes hoodie when they did the Patriot last time.
Oh, they're cool.
I don't buy t-shirts much. I wear black. Joe
Hand of Dimes, is that Skin's old singer?
Yeah, they finished now. Unfortunately, Nev was in it, and Neil. It was great, but and unfortunately, my whole like fucking clothing is black. So I wear black everywhere, and I'm black, and like Josie from what's her band? I can't remember Josie's band. Josie always takes,
yeah, where they do all the tie dye stuff.
Always takes the piss and tries to get me to wear like fucking bright colors, and I'm like, yeah, I might go into dark brown if you're lucky, but nothing. Yeah, so it's all good, mate. Yeah, but no, the riders are okay. People are beginning to learn slowly that they can't take the piss. We recently done the Dead Daisies tour. We were on that, so we did probably there's 8 days with Dead Daisies, and they were absolutely phenomenal to work with. Absolutely gentlemen, lovely, also down to earth. But that day to this tour, we played Home Firth.
Yeah, I know that. I used to live near there.
Which is where Last of Summer Wine was filmed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
which is one of my other obsessions. So
I
was in my element, just like taking photos of everything, and it's nice to see stuff from time to time.
Did you get? I used to know.
Compo. Do you know Compo was posh as anything?
Oh no, mate.
I met him a few times.
I'm asking Alan, did he get a chance to ride down the hill like Compo?
Oh fuck, no! I had a photo. I had the photo inside the cafe. I had something outside Nora Batty's house, and I've done a few others because I don't know if you've ever been to Holmfirth. It's stunning. It's in Yorkshire. It's a beautiful place with a like 1,500 cap rock venue slapped in the middle of it.
An old cinema. It's an old cinema, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, God, it's an amazing place.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If I could, I'd move there.
That's amazing.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and we also did Breaks a festival in Switzerland a couple of weeks before. So we went out with all these Euro metal bands in this festival in Switzerland. Scouser was unheard of out there, so they took us out, and it's the most beautiful place I've ever been to in my life. A massive lake, and sun was shining. It was like Heidi. It was like fucking. It was amazing. But the boys went on to an empty basically tent. But within 10 minutes, the place was full because they only do one UK band every festival. And it was just fucking, it was amazing. It was just nice to see people. It's nice to play to people who don't know the band. And then you can see the way the band turn the crowd over and actually, gain new fans and stuff. But yeah, it's the last month's been great. I'm bored now. I'm in the house. I'm bored.
I've got to ask you, because obviously I know I've seen you post today about tattoos and beer because you sat in the house doing nothing like so. It's one thing which you've got to ask, and I've experienced this when we played over in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Europe, the fans are kind of different. They're there for the day, they're there for the show.
Yeah.
So, what was your experience? Was it something similar? Because
yeah, it was exactly. It wasn't massive. I'd say there's probably 2,000 there, and I can't. It's Bryzane or something like that. It's called, but It's like a holiday resort in Switzerland, right in the middle of all the mountains, and it's stunning. And there was a 3 day festival. I think White Lion were there, Jack Scott, Soto, and bands like that, and a lot of the Euro metal lot. And Scarlet Rebels are very different to the rest of them. But the way you get looked after in Europe as a band
Mm.
is fucking 1,000 times better than the UK.
Yeah, yeah, I've
They
heard
look
that.
after you. I don't know if they got more money or what they've got, but the hospitality is unbelievable.
I'd agree more. When we played in Barcelona, it was absolutely one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had. Like, we got picked up from the airport, like, and I'm like carrying my guitars. He goes, no, 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 we'll carry it. And I'm like, no, no, it's all right.
Well, you're lucky. We flew out of Heathrow. It's only an hour and a half from Heathrow to Zurich. So we flew out. We flew out from Heathrow. I think it was like 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning. Arrived like 10 o'clock, whatever. And then we had a little text saying, "Oh, by the way, all your guitars and stuff are still in Heathrow." So we were out there, no fucking guitars, no pedals, nothing at all. Just like us with nothing with our cases, no instruments. So the boys got hold of stuff and we worked out, like we said, when can they come over? And they're like, oh, we can probably get over like next day or the day after. Too late. We were playing. So the Babs B is a lovely lady that runs a festival out there. She's brilliant. She's like Jeff Scott Soto's tour manager as well. And she organized for us to borrow everything from Victory, the band Victory. So we borrowed everything. It was absolutely amazing the way she did turn everything. And the funny thing is, we then had a message to say, oh, by the way, they're in Zurich. So, but they weren't. They were still fucking the other side. Oh, it's nuts, mate. It's these cases in like the giant cases the boys take with them. They always get lost.
It's like that's when you get the brown adrenaline moments.
Oh Jesus, yeah, exactly. What you're going to do is like, luckily, I said Babsy was a really brilliant host, and she looked after us like, and nothing was wrong. If it was somebody different, there'd be a proper issue. We probably, I don't know, we'd have to go and buy instruments to play, and try
Mm.
and find somebody to buy instruments in the middle of the Swiss like village. It's just impossible.
Yeah.
I can imagine. So obviously, we've got another random question of the day, which is classed as a new section which we've thrown in called "Win or Stay On."
Okay.
So
You're going to
uh,
love this.
it
All
stands
right.
today.
Hit me with
It
it.
stands. So you've got to pick which one stays on.
Okay.
Let's start with Metallica versus AC/DC.
Metallica for me.
Metallica versus Zeppelin.
Metallica for me.
Deep Purple.
Ooh, Perfect Strangers, Deep Purple. That's my more. Ooh, fuck, Metallica.
This really makes people squirm every time, Alan. It
Yeah,
really.
that's a tough one because like I love Perfect Strangers, one of my all-time favorite albums.
Black
I
Sabbath.
love it because
Who's
that's
staying
like
on then, dude? Who's staying on? The pressure's
with
on.
between Metallica,
Metallica.
Metallica.
Black Sabbath.
Sabbath.
What era Sabbath though?
Ooh, right then. I love.
Look up squirm.
This
Look up
is so
squirm.
bad. Right, I love Sabbath, but I'm a massive Dio Sabbath fan.
Yeah, me too,
Heaven and
mate.
Hell, Mob Rules, mate, that fucking
Best
blows my
albums
mind.
ever.
It's fucking so God rest his soul, I'm gonna say Dio Sabbath, and I'm gonna probably get hated for this.
You won't. You
I
won't.
agree with you, mate. I'd
But
be exactly the same.
it's the next couple which you'll most probably hate me for, Alan. So
Yeah,
please don't shout at me. So Kiss.
Kiss. Yeah, just no need to ask. No need to ask. They're all of my arms. There's no need to
You're
ask.
not gonna like me now then. Scarlet Rebels.
Against Kiss,
Yeah.
you utter wanker.
Look
Kiss.
at skin crawling.
I go work for Kiss. They'd probably pay me more.
And the last one, Kiss versus Venom.
Oh Jesus!
Look at the way he's looking at you, Ian.
No,
I'm gonna get some hate messages from Alan.
I'm looking at my Kiss collection on the wall, thinking, please God help me. Um, what? Oh,
Yeah, you can call me
um,
whatever you want, mate. It's fine.
Venom.
Yeah.
Black metal, Venom era, holy shit. Only because as well, it was quite rebellion. My mother was like, this. I mean, Hell Awaits by Slayer, Black Metal by Venom, and I think he was War with Satan by Venom. And my mum was like, "What's this? It's inverted crosses, the devils." I'm like, "Ah, it's cool. It's good." I have a devil tattoo when I'm 18. Never did, but I just like the imagery. Like the Maiden, like Number of the Beast imagery, and the single with the head, Eddie in the head. It just, I used to buy albums because of the imagery as well sometimes.
Yeah, I
And
must
some of
admit.
it really shit. Like the Bonded by Blood by Exodus. It's got to be one of the worst album covers ever. It's like some 10-year-old child has drawn it with his mouth. It's
What
terrible.
don't you find it? We miss it. We like a lot of people starting off in bands have missed so much good artwork.
Oh,
You know what I mean? You like you can look at Appetite for Destruction. You've got Extreme Porno Graffiti. You've got all of this where it was back
yeah,
in, and it's fucking amazing
I
artwork.
know.
Nowadays, it just looks. It hasn't got the same because people just get it on Spotify. It's not the same as picking up a
Yeah,
record.
I remember import. I went to Shades record shop in London, which Shades was basically the only place you could get any imports, and I'd kill them all on import when it came through first on Megaforce. It cost me probably fucking £12, but that was a fortune back in the 80s. And I just kill them all. I was looking and thinking, fuck, Club Hammer Blood. This is what it's all about. And it just fucking blew my mind. It just and then with Ride the Lightning as well, with a metal up your ass t-shirts and
Do you know
yeah,
what? We've been trying to find that everywhere. It's dead hard to find nowadays.
no, it's impossible. It's very, very. And then you're washed with fuck like a beast, and
Yeah,
you try to be controversial, and not like you swear t-shirts with "fuck you" on and everything like that, and then I went through the stage of the Anthrax t-shirts with my hat with knot on it and, all stuff like that, skate stuff. And, mate, I loved it. I loved all that stuff. And I
Uh,
remember back in the day, Anthrax supported Metallica in Cardiff. The year after, Anthrax headlined with Testament supporting. The year after, Testament headlined with the Almighty supporting. And the year after, the Almighty played with somebody else, which I can't remember. So it was a roll on for like 4 years.
yeah, it was brilliant. Brilliant times. We were interviewing somebody last week, and he's opening up a record shop, like a proper old school record shop. And we were talking about what it was like for us as kids. And I can remember, and I would go for like shit coming from America. I can remember buying a bootleg Aerosmith album, and honest to
Yeah.
God, the sound quality was that bad. It was like it'd been mixed with a fucking Kenwood chef. I mean, it sounded like they stuck the microphone up a dead bear's ass and then recorded
Yeah.
through it. It was
Remember,
awful.
you used to go to the record fairs, and in the record fairs, they used to sell the bootleg tapes, didn't they?
Yeah,
But the guys had the best fucking boom boxes in the world, massive speakers, and so like Metallica live. I bought Acting Like a Maniac, a Metallica in Donington, 85, I think it is, whatever. And it sounded fucking, well, check it home on my, it was just like, me, 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 me. I couldn't hear it. And then it was, I had so many tapes. They used to photocopy the covers and then color covers
yeah,
the tape and these are foot. Oh, it was amazing. And then if you had a VHS, oof, the world's your oyster. You could have whatever you want to, you
yeah. I mean,
know,
I can
hand
remember.
film stuff and
I can remember buying, never mind the bollocks, in the American version, and it was
yeah,
the one where it was lime green and pink. So it was exactly the same cover, but it was lime green and pink.
yeah,
And,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that was me. I was a fucking step above all my mates that
It
had the
is.
normal one.
Yeah, that's so cool. I was talking to somebody last week. Do you remember ECT? It used to
No.
be on Channel 4. It used to be extra
Oh
celestial
yeah, 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 yeah,
television. And you used to have Venom, Magnum, Ozzy was on it. It was just like bands playing live all the time. A lot of people don't even remember it. It's like,
yeah. I do
it's like
remember it now.
I think that was it Channel 4? It was something late at night, which every band I loved. Even I still love the Grip for years, and the Grip are on it, and Hannah Rocks are on it, and
Oh,
I'm quite my musical taste is like it's all over the place. I love everything
I
from
still
Point.
reckon, I still reckon
Yeah,
Mike Monroe is the best front man I've ever
oh,
fucking
mate,
seen.
and 100%, absolute legend, and
Yeah,
he's still going now. I mean, he's never had the best voice, but he doesn't
no,
fucking need it.
no, he doesn't.
He's absolutely chucking out. He's brilliant.
He was I went and saw him in the Pavilion at Ayr in the
Yeah,
80s, and it was when they first went up around the bend and all that. And there's an upper circle, And
Yeah, yeah.
so it's a big old theatre, an upper circle. And he disappeared off the stage. Next time we saw him, he's literally skipping along the edge of this. It's like a fucking 40-foot drop straight down. And he's running along it while singing. And we're like, you're
I know.
fucking mad, you mate. But what a
He
front
still
man.
does. He still does something similar now. He's up on top of the cabs, the speakers. He's everywhere, and he's
Yeah.
got to be touching 70 by now. He's got to be late 60s, 70s at
Yeah,
least.
I think he's probably, yeah, he's probably 64, 65 at least.
Mm.
But he
But
still looks the part.
not close up though.
No, maybe not. Yeah, well, none of his do, mate. That's why I've got this soft focus light on.
Yeah, I still love Rothschild back in the day as well. I used to be a big Rothschild fan.
Rocky Shades.
Yeah, I used to love it. To go watch Rothschild everywhere.
But
The
the one,
flames and sparks and everything. Oh, it was brilliant.
the one thing I was going to say to you, Alan, about things like, you know what I mean? Obviously, it's got its uses. It has got
Yeah.
its uses.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, yeah.
But I think you grew up in a similar area as myself, John, where it's like you wait for the weekend.
Oh,
You get your
yeah,
vinyl, you open it up, you've got the lyric sheet there, you put it
yeah.
on, you've got that warm crackling noise. See, you're smiling already. You know
Yeah,
what
I know. It's
people
my
don't.
my vinyl collection is insane, but yeah, I know exactly what it's getting that thing, taking it home. CDs piss me off because it's like suddenly gone from that to that, and I'm like, I can't fucking read the lyrics of this. What's this about? I was very anti-CD for a while, but then because vinyl's coming, as you know, vinyl's back flat now. But fuck me, the cost of vinyl these days,
Ridiculous.
and they're so thick, you never break them.
Yeah.
But it's a piece of
Made
art.
by
And
Pyrex.
yeah, I remember Warfare released an album on Neat Records, and you could fuck it. It was like you could do it.
Fan of fire with it, couldn't you? Like, you know,
Yeah,
Can you remember the flims? Can you remember the ones you used to get free with the sounds and all that? And it was
flexi
flexi
disc with
disc.
Kerrang.
You used to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
and Kerrang, yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what, that's where I discovered bands like Tobruk in the 80s. A lot of
Tobruk,
them
yeah,
free, but I used to fucking love them.
they
And
were great.
loads of other great bands from those free discs that you used to get. Brilliant.
Heavy Petting were on one of them from Scotland. Heavy
Amy,
Petting were on it, weren't
Amy,
they?
I used to love them then, yeah.
so
Didn't they?
last,
Didn't they do Eurovision as well?
I think there's
Heavy, I'm
some
pretty sure
tells me,
Heavy Petting did Eurovision Song Contest. I might be wrong.
yeah,
we'll
I
have to
don't
check
know.
that. We'll have to check that one out. So here's the last one for myself then.
Yeah.
You've got a festival, dead or
Right.
alive, it doesn't matter, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Four band short festival. Who's your dream lineup?
Diamond Head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. Yeah.
I'd say Kiss naturally. Holy Diver Dio era. And then this is a bastard to get a headliner. It's just like I think it'd have to be like Peace of Mind, Maiden era, and them all together. You know, the classic like Monsters of Rock things.
Yeah.
Like I've been to download. I'm like, what's this about? 19 stages and 6 fucking thousand bands. I was happy with 6 bands in one day, and it's freaking brilliant.
No,
I
that's what
don't-
I missed the first one. I went to the second, third, fourth, and fifth, I think. And at that
Yeah.
time, I still lived in Scotland, so we used to go down. So I saw AC/DC headline it twice, and I saw Whitesnake headline it. And it was fucking amazing.
It's yeah, I know I understand health and safety and everything these days, but I should remember the stage used to be made of fucking basically scaffolding.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's no back to it or nothing, and it's like when remember Bad News played there in '85.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that was the Aussie Warlock Bad News thing, and that was there's no backdrops back then. It was
no.
just a back open to the back of the stage,
Mm. And
and
you
I
couldn't see
I
this,
just
couldn't see what the weather was because the sky was just full of stuff getting thrown. I actually
yeah
remember I had long hair, I had a biker's jacket on because I come straight to
yeah.
the pub the night before in Scotland, and I stood there, and this thing hit me and went, and it was it was a ripe watermelon. I was picking seeds out my fucking hair for about 3 months after it.
When Metallica played there in 85 was it 86, 85 the first time. And then I was down the front and I was about to pass out, I was about to die. And there's a guy next to me, no shit, eating a block of cheese, which is probably 2 foot by 2 foot. Just fucking watching Metallica eating a giant block of cheese. I
Yeah.
said, what are you doing? And he's like, what? Because the fucking head with it. But you get away with murder. I love Magnum, right? But I got to admit, I hit Bob Catley with a lump of shit in like 1986 because he had white trousers on. Yeah, you just you're young, dumb when you're young and dumb, you know. But yeah, man, I said we should drive the car up there, park your tent next to the car, get the
Mm.
fucking fire going. People should drive their cars on the campsite with like 50 people on top of it surfing.
Oh yeah, it was mad.
It's
It was.
fucking insane.
I remember at one time it was red hot. I'm sleeping in a two-man tent, me and the girlfriend at the time. It's red hot. So I'm sleeping with nothing on.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning and I get cramp in both legs at the same time. Now I can't stand up because it's a two-man tent. I can't go out because I've got fuck all on. Oh my God, it was absolutely horrendous.
Oh man, yeah, but this is really bad. But back in the day, people used to nick a car in South Wales and drive her up and burn it out. And I'm thinking, fuck you hell, and catch a train back.
Yeah.
There used to be a constant travel club from South Wales as well, which would be two buses leaving 4 a.m. Swansea Library to go up there, and then they should go up with two 52-seaters, and I can guarantee you about 40 people came home. They didn't know what the fuck the people were. They didn't care. They just went, oh, we don't care. It's just like people left in services. I mean, it's just brilliant. I loved it. I'm quite proud to grow up in that era.
Oh, me too, mate.
I've gone through it, and I can explain it to younger bands and things. I can tell them how it was, and hopefully they understand it. But I also respect that that's a lot of people listen to music and think, oh, that's shit. A lot of people my age have suddenly turned into the people in their 70s when I was on my 18. Oh, that's noise. That's never going to work. So I'm listening to music and thinking, fuck, that's quite extreme, but I'll give it a go, but I'll never slag it off because that music to them was like Slayer to me when I was 18.
Yeah.
It was just like, fuck, oh my God, blow my mind.
It's really funny
So
because like we were having a conversation and it was like 2020 Deggy from Gorilla
yeah,
Riot. Yeah,
yeah,
he's the guy that did this artwork here.
yeah, that's cool.
So he did one and it was a young guy I'd never heard of and he put it up on his Facebook page and I went, who the fuck is it? And he was going on about him, how brilliant he was. And it was a young lad from Doncaster called Youngblood. So
Oh, really?
I checked the album out. So this was 2020. So I checked the album out and I loved it. I loved
Yeah,
him, even though there wasn't a lot. Now, there was loads and loads of metalheads and rockers fucking slagging him off, don't know what he is. And then he does the Aussie show.
I know.
And
Suddenly, you.
all of a sudden they're all going, oh, he's like a rock star, really, isn't he? And I'm going, I fucking tried to tell you that 5 years ago. He was
His last
always going to
album,
go that way.
his last album is fucking really, really good. It's
Oh
fucking
yeah,
amazing.
it's
It's just, I get it. He is the new, like, it's hard to explain who, but you know,
David Bowie. I think he's a lot, but
he's a
lot
rock
of
star.
Bowie in him.
He is 100% rock star, and he deserves everything. He still parties. He still does everything, and I just love everything about him. He's
Yeah.
absolute
The
legend.
one,
He's
the
brilliant.
one story that I really love about him, especially this day and age, and you'll grasp this, Alan. Sometimes people have got to put shows on, and the ticket prices have to reflect that.
Yeah,
In his interview, he said to the management team, he goes, "I want it so everyone can afford a ticket." And then I think it ended up being a show in the States, and they were charging $20 a
yeah.
ticket.
That's a festival he puts on every year.
Bloodfest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bloodfest.
yeah, he does his own fest, and he keeps even the vendors have to keep their beer prices to like £4.50. The food is no more than like £8. He's fucking he's got the right idea. I fair enough. Right, he's probably a multimillionaire himself, but he's actually giving a bit back.
yeah.
It's the same as that Taylor Swift woman, the lady.
Yeah.
Absolutely. See what she does to the people who work with her. She gave all the drivers £50,000 each bonus. She gives every time she goes into a city, she gives millions and millions to different charities in that city, and
Yeah,
I
she did
full
it.
respect her for doing it.
She did it in Liverpool. I it was hundreds of thousands she gave
Yeah,
to the food banks in Liverpool when she played Anfield. And she does that in
God,
every
she's
city. You know, fair play to them.
well, you wouldn't find fucking Oasis doing that, believe me. Sorry,
Oh, no chance.
although we got a bit of Oasis thing going on at the moment.
So, what's
Yeah.
the plans for next year then, Alad? What's happening in your world, pal?
Um, we've got quite a few things with Scarlet Rebels coming up in the start of the year. I'm booking there's a lot of stuff I haven't announced yet for next year. We've got probably 6 shows in Chepstow Castle next year in a row.
Well,
Um, yeah, we've done about 70, maybe 80 shows this year. We're going to look probably to double that next year, hopefully.
Wow. Okay. So you
Yeah, because we do the Patriot as well, so we got like 2 a night there, and there's a lot of good stuff going on the Patriot at the moment. We just sold like Green Bonnet and the Patriot. We done Gun recently as well, a couple of months ago, and my favourites coming back now in November. We got Chris Holmes coming back again.
oh, Wasp.
Man, I fucking never see it's mind blowing. The band he's got around him, it's something Jackals. I don't know what the name. Something
Yeah,
Jackals.
the Wicked Jackals. I've done
What?
work with
No.
them.
What a fucking voice! It sounds like Blackie Lawless to me. It's brilliant. And then luckily enough, we have Phil Campbell popping down and like playing with him and things because they were saying like the last time he met Phil Campbell was probably the early 90s, and they got totally fucked up and they destroyed LA together. Little stories like that. I mean, he's him and Kathy, his wife. Absolutely, it's lovely for me. So people I should absolutely follow, adore, buy their albums, stand outside record stores, put together autographs for years, and I can call some of them friends, which means a lot to me. It's like even like people like Jeff Tate. I was obsessed by Queensryche, obsessed. I've probably done like 10 shows with Jeff over the years. It's little things like that it means a lot to me that people that I loved as a teenager have suddenly become friends. It's a nice feeling.
And that's why you're 38 years, you wouldn't swap it
Oh
with
fuck no, mate! I
any.
would no. I wouldn't know how to do anything else. You put
Yeah.
me on a 9 to 5. As I said, I'll probably have a stroke within 10 minutes. I wouldn't be. I
As
personally wouldn't be
as
able
would
to
your
do it.
boss.
Yeah,
Try to control you.
can you imagine me going into a 9 to 5? It'd be like fucking hell. I'd turn up at like fucking 12 o'clock in the afternoon and go home at 2. I wouldn't be able to cope. But no, it's great. As I said the Scarlet Rebels got quite a bit coming up next year. They got the new album coming out now in. It's probably going to be midsummer, so they're doing a lot of pre-album work. There's going to be tours around that and bits and bobs like that. So hopefully we'll have a few festivals with them as well. But yeah, no, it's very busy, and it's lucky for me at the moment that I've started the company with Angela together. So she takes a lot of the pressure off me. Like 4 years ago, I used to do everything myself, and it gets to a stage that you can't do it. You
Mm.
fucking almost have a breakdown. It's so difficult to get everything prepped and everything in place. But Angela takes a lot of the pressure off me now, and
That's why
it's been
that's why you've doubled your sleep pattern to 2 hours a day.
yeah, I know. I had lunch with her earlier, and she was like, "Oh, she's great. I can't say how much respect I got for a lady,
Oh, yeah,
especially
she's
what
an
she does,
amazing lady.
what she does for bands.
Mm.
There's some bands just go there, and she's like, okay, we big bands who need some money. So we've had quite a few bands coming in there saying, "Oh, we need like 10, 12 grand," and she's like, "Okay, do 2 shows in here. I'll give you all the money. I'll cover the PRS, cover the hire fee, I'll cover my staff." And she does that out of the goodness of her heart for the bands, which you don't find anywhere else.
No, no,
She's not.
she's all for the bands. I mean, Ian's played the Patriot a few times as well for me, and we
I,
love her, don't we? We think,
I,
and her husband too. Dean's fucking amazing too.
Yeah, Dean's great. The whole Patriot family up there, I can't fault it.
I think it's just a great little venue. To be perfectly honest, it's one of those where you're driving in and you know straight away it's going to be good, especially when
Yeah,
the bikes are there and everyone's all chatting. Then you, like I said, go down to like I remember Ange went to me. She goes, just go down to the pizza shop, sell them with, like you're from Liverpool, you're one of the bands, and he'll give you discount and stuff like that. And you're like, you walk in and you think, and he goes, you're one of the bands straight away, and you're like,
they know, don't they? They know straight away. I know. But I'm not sure if you've been there recently. There's a massive extension be built on the back of it.
Yeah,
So there's new green rooms. There's access directly onto the stage.
shivers.
There's a massive because like it should be horrible. The bands used to have to come up those dreaded fucking concrete stairs outside and come onto the stage. And if it's pissing down, it's horrible. One of them's a rocky step, and and we should when we I think it was Eric Martin we had there, and people were waiting on the stairs for him, and they just fucking piled him. And they were, what? Yeah.
My
It's
my
just good.
favorite
It's
was
changed all.
my favorite was when Gun played there.
Oh,
And Ange, I was speaking to Ange the next day, I think it was. And she said, "Oh, it was so fucking funny, John." I says, "Why?" She says, "They turned up in the tour bus." She says, "Well, you know what it's like straight outside our gig." She says, "There was nothing but people fucking complaining because they couldn't get home because of this bus parked up
yeah.
outside."
People can't get. It was parked out the front. People couldn't get fucking past. The
Yeah.
local buses had to detour some other way. But we've got a thought there. We've got parking bays and everything now for buses. So it's totally it's a different thing there now. It's far more organised and it's really really good. Very special venue. It I wouldn't still be there. As I said, I normally last a year in every venue I work in, and I'm on year 4, going on 5. And she's my business partner. So I think it says it all there.
It
It does.
certainly
It
does,
does.
pal.
So, like I say, I think from my perspective, I think we would love to have you back on next year when you get a little bit of time in between to tell us how you're getting on with next year's adventures because it sounds like you're busy and we'd love to help you and support you with that as well.
But I appreciate that. It would be good if we do it when I'm on the road.
Have
Yeah,
we?
that'd be cool.
In
You know
the
what? Let's
on the tour bus with the boys. That'd be absolutely fucking great.
Alan, we will do that, you know. We will do, like, you know what I mean. We'll try and catch you either just before a show at a venue or on a day off when you're in the middle of your tour. Like,
Yeah,
we
we'll,
will plan it out. We would love to, like, you know what I mean. That means a lot to us. That, like, so.
and next time we're up in your part of the world, we'll. I think we're doing what's it called? No, it's not Winter's End. What's it called? Winter Storm. We're doing Winter Storm.
Oh, yeah.
That's up your part in Scotland, I believe, isn't it? So
Oh,
Well, yeah,
we're up there
you're
somewhere.
making a McCollum
Liverpool
mistake.
now,
I
man.
live in Liverpool.
Oh,
We're
do
both
you? All
do.
right, fuck me. I haven't
Yeah.
been to Liverpool. I haven't been to Liverpool though. They seem to. We've done Manchester a few times, but we haven't been to Liverpool much with them at the moment. I don't know why. Fans seem to
There's not
miss
much of a
out
rock.
Liverpool.
No, there's not much of a rock metal scene in
Alan,
Liverpool.
do you
Do
know
you?
what? Give us a shout, mate, and I'll have a chat with you later, like later through the week. I'll give you the
Yeah,
shout.
definitely, mate. But there used to be a really good rock club in Liverpool called
The Crazy
uh,
House, was it? Or
Crazy House. That's it. Yeah, that's fucking. Oh, that was a fucking brilliant club. It was amazing. Absolutely cracking place.
yeah,
That's gone. That's gone. I guess is it?
yeah, it has unfortunately, like so. But there's still a few places, like you know what I mean. But I'll drop you a message this week, and
Definitely,
I'll let you know about it. Like so,
definitely, guys.
John, have you got any more questions for Alan? Because I
No,
know
I
we can
think we
talk
better wrap it
before.
up, pal, because it's getting to my bedtime, and I need my beauty
Yeah. So
sleep
sorry.
back. As you can
I
see,
I do rabbit on sometimes.
Hey,
Sorry about
no, Alan, seriously, we can most probably put the world to rights tonight. Like you know what I mean.
that.
But from the bottom
Definitely,
of
guys.
our hearts, mate, really appreciate you coming on, giving you an honest opinion of the music industry, telling us all about your new ventures and stuff like that. So seriously.
Always a pleasure, guys. Anytime, I'll be happy to do anything you need, guys.
that's
Mate, you
brilliant.
are an absolute legend in my eyes, so thank you very much for supporting everyone. John, over to you, mate. Let's end the show.
Well, hopefully you've enjoyed this, and if you haven't, and there's something seriously wrong with you, and you need to go and see a psychiatrist. But having said that, irrespective of whether you like it or not, subscribe because we need the followers. Thanks very much. Over and out.